All right, everybody, we are back. It's your friend Will. This is the Memory Lapse, and we are jumping into round 5 here with green-white tokens, or green-white mid-range, however you want to color it, courtesy of Nick Prince, who was also kind enough to share us some sideboarding notes on this list. So far, so good. Served us well. And we're also live streaming this session of recording on Twitch because I'm home today, taking a vacation day, receiving a new couch that we bought on Black Friday sale. And yeah, so I'm probably going to be doing this again soon. I have to burn some vacation days coming up before the end of the year, and if you're interested in checking out some live streams, watching me record some of these videos, and just hanging out, you can follow me on Twitter at SloppyStack. I'll post it below, and follow my Twitch channel, which I infrequently use, which is also SloppyStack, prior to when I came up with the branding of the Memory Lapse. So, on the draw, do we keep this a little slow? But if we don't draw lands, we're probably drawing 2 drops. And if we do draw lands, then we're just going to curve up. Tilt and McTilt is our opponent this round. And do we think this means Jeskai? Usually Clifftop Retreat tapped. I'm going to think this means that they're on Jeskai. Shock. Oh wow, no, they're on aggro. Okay. That's a sick draw. I think I think we want them to block given the texture of our hand. So let's give them the chance to do it. Thorn Lieutenant gets to block this Dauntless Bodyguard. Super nice. Next turn, we can decide if we want to convoke out Conclave Tribunal. Yeah, I think we're going to want to. The question here is on what? So our goal this game is to survive to Lyra and hope that they don't have a Conclave Tribunal. I think that's where we're at right now. They're down to 2 cards. Oops. What are we most scared of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we're most scared of this aspirant. And so let's just take that off the board. And if they want to flip, then they have to lose their bodyguard here. And then they'll be flipped, but that's about it. And we'll get to slam Ajani and start plussing. I'm guessing they're going to want to flip. No, maybe not. Okay. Considering that it looks like they're missing a land drop here, but... So, what's the merit between... We can play Temple Garden tapped in History, or we can just play Ajani and plus. It'll go to 5. They potentially attack it down. Probably we just want to build up a board presence. Got a notification. Someone's asking, am I streaming now? And the answer is yes. Oh, they're on Pride Mate. Let me respond to our friend Demetrius. Alright, so yeah, I guess we're just jamming Lyra, and we're hoping they don't have Conclave Tribunal. Alright, Healer's Hawk. Doesn't mean they don't have Conclave Tribunal, they can convoke it out. Oh, they're not. Magnificent. Hmm. Not really a good way to answer that. Yeah, basically we've just both been adding to the board. And he stepped away and asked what happened, and we've just been adding to the board. We have a Lyra, though. So I feel a bit better about our position long term. I don't mind playing out my land here because we are a March of the Multitudes deck. They're down to 6. So they're tanking here because they can really only attack with so many Healer's Hawks. So this is a really good draw for them. This is quite a good draw for them because it lets them gain 6 potentially if they want to attack that way. Guessing they'll attack with 2? Yeah. Looks like that's what they're going to do. No, they're going to attack with 3. That seems a little much. Attack for 3 to Ajani, even. Oh, they do get to transform, which is nice. They get to make a primate bigger. That's a non-draw for us. I think we just have to sit back now. Yeah. We can't just keep trading 6 for 6. I think we're just sitting back until we find a March or a Flourish. That was a really good draw for them, that Marshall. It changed all the math on the board. But we should be able to stop them from attacking with everything but the Pride Mate. And even now, attacking with the Pride Mate's not that good. Because we can just block it. Yeah, this one I could have held. I think Plumakin points out I could have held that land there, and I think that's correct. I only really need that to play the land if I draw a March or something, and they're not going to force us to discard, so we're not going to miss out. And also it lets us bluff like Settle the Wreckage or something. Which, considering we're playing Lyra, they might think we might have oddball cards like that in the deck. Alright, so we'll make our token. They chose not to attack at all. That bodes well for us. Alright, so we drew the Flourish, so what's the math here? Don't think the math is good enough. But this will obviously work if we draw March, so I think we're just going to hold back. With a stalemated board, I think it advantages our deck in the long run. We have much better top decks. If we just draw a March, we win instantly. Well, we win the next turn instantly. I guess the question is, will they get fed up and start trying to attack, and then how are we going to respond to that? Resplendent Angel. That changes things significantly. That means we get to attack with Lyra, which I'll do. The odds of them having something like Seal Away are so low. I assume they just take, because this invites them to attack back and grow their Ajani's Primate further. Chump blocking seems fairly bad for them. Alright, we gain 6. Oh. Now we go to our second main phase. We play Resplendent Angel. Our turn ends. We get a token. That's going to be a 6/6 Vigilance Angel, thanks to Lyra's Lord ability here. Oh, it's a 5/5. All right. Normally it's a 4/4, so it's buffed to 5/5. Now they don't even really get to crack back, which is insane for us. Yeah, that's not good enough. That's certainly not good enough. Wow. Talk about rubbing salt in the wound. I guess it's actually correct to play this, though, to play around them having something like a single main deck Settle the Wreckage here, right? This forces them to block. I don't think I want to attack with the... If I attack with the Resplendent Angel... No, yeah, we don't do that because they have lifelink. Alright. Our winged friends are going to take this one for us, I think. Wow, they're triple blocking up on the token. Oh, that that doesn't work because the first strike damage happens first. Oh, damn. That was such a funny interaction. Alright, so I think we're taking out Adanto Vanguard here. This guy is not really a blocker. Settle the Wreckage seems okay. Knight of Autumn seems okay. I think we want the Knights to break up the... Yeah, I think we want the Knights to break up. Yeah, Zealand remarks first strike, yes. Hard to remember. I assume that they have Conclave Tribunal, so we want to be able to free our stuff. This might be the only change we're making. Seal Away does seem decent here. But, like, for what? Do we really want to take out Emmara or anything? I don't think so. Alright, this is for the 5-0. This is for the clean victory. Let's go. We've been joined by someone else, which is great. These settles are nice. I think we just keep this hand in the draw. Our Legion's Landing token actually blocks like their early plays fairly well. Nice. Feel free to say what's up in chat if you just joined the stream. I know someone did, unless the statistical reading is lying to me. If they attack, we're definitely blocking. Like, we are in the mood to block. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting way to win a game. Obviously they made that block thinking that they would survive because of the lifelink, but because the first strike damage applied first, they just got blown out. Not great for them. Alright, I guess we're just going to play this other Legion's Landing. Oh, Zulaball's here, the person earlier in this video where I jumped into YouTube and told him, yeah, we're streaming, we're live. It is rare, so don't get used to it. Oh, alright, so they had the perfect follow-up here. Our plan to sit back and block is no longer good. The question I guess now is, are we double blocking? I think we are. We just want to survive to settle the wreckage. Alright. So this token can block this token. We'll take 6. Play land and then look to settle them. Yeah. It's awkward. Well, there's a reasonable shot that if we settle them here and then follow up with Lyra, they just don't have an answer to it. And we do have some answers to, if they do have Conclave Tribunal, we do have some answers, so. Oh yeah. Zealand was just here last night. She can confirm that this street noise is not typical. Not typical. It just only happens when I record, to be honest. And also the mic is super sensitive. Alright, so now our plan of, well, what they would have assumed our plan of blocking was is no longer good. They're going to play around settle by attacking like this. I think we still settle them. Because we have the second one. And now, depending on what we draw, we're going to think about just shocking and playing this Lyra. Let's get in our free attack. Yeah, I'm just going to play Lyra. If they don't have the answer to it, we can swing this game back. If they have the answer to it, we can pack it up and go to game 3 pretty shortly. But I don't think playing Thorn Lieutenant works. I don't think holding back for Settle the Wreckage there works. At least by playing this way, we might be able to get a settle off on them next turn. We go to 1. I think also to Settle the Wreckage, we're going to tank here for a minute. And decide... Make it look like, ooh. Alright, so now we're going to no block. Go to 1. We really actually wanted to draw land there. So that way we could have played like a Thorn Lieutenant and held up Settle the Wreckage. Oh. I wonder if they'll play around it. If they want to kill us definitively, they have to attack with 2 things. Yeah. Zulabal says, just here trying to learn Magic. How long have you played? Are you new from Arena? Or are you just a player who's played casually? It's always interesting to hear where people are at in their Magic journey. Since the beta opened. Okay, so you've been playing for like a month or so. I guess it's been more like 2 months at this point. Alright, so we'll play Emmara. Tribunal. Tribunal out there. Tribunal, get our 5/5. First strike lifelinker back. Attack for 2. So that means you're fairly new. Did you come from other card games? Did you play Hearthstone? Did you play any of the other digital TCGs that I know have been out there? Oh, so they sided in the Experimental Frenzy plan. This is interesting. Wow, another history. Guess we attack with these. Because we do want them to make blocks. They may not make blocks, but at least we get a token off of this. Yeah, Hearthstone. So Zulabal says he's a regular legend player in Hearthstone. Magic is very different. I'll hold this till next turn. You know, when I went to, I did the opposite thing, where I went to Hearthstone from Magic. And had a fairly easy time transitioning, but I can see that this game is so different that it can be tough. So I think we're alive here, depending on, as long as they don't have like a Conclave Tribunal on top. We have lifelink, lifelink, first strike, lifelink. Yeah. All right. So first strike, lifelink here. That puts us to 6. So we just block and block. Oh, there's like way more. Okay, so we have to block and block and block. Yeah, they just found like all histories off the top. Like block and double block even. We take 6. We gain. This should be okay. I mean, okay in the sense that we live, not okay in the sense that like, oh, I think we win from this position. This is tough. It stacked the tokens. I thought it was only like 4 tokens getting on me. So next turn, this one pops, and they attack for 20. That's not going to be good enough. Even gain the 5. We'll go to the next game. That frenzy was nuts for them, just to find all those histories on top. But I think we're keeping our deck exactly the same here. Yeah, but going back to Hearthstone and Magic, I'll say the biggest difference, I think, is that in Hearthstone, so much of the strategy is in the actual attacking, because you can directionally attack players' creatures or players themselves, and that's how you control the game. And the game is controlled entirely through the board, more or less, with a few decks being the exception, some of the combo decks. Whereas in Magic, there's so many other axes of control. There are decks that play for board control, but you can't play for it by attacking creatures directly. You have to weave spells or other, other effects into it. And yeah, I prefer Magic. I basically stopped playing Hearthstone to come back to Magic when they released Arena. Although I was not an every month Legend player. I like our hand this game. Resplendent Angel could be very good. I think we offer this trade because we get a token out of it. We want their Pride Mate to die. And we'll just play our 3-drop, and then if the Emmara dies, we have double 2-drop next turn. Plumakin says they would play Hearthstone if they made paper cards. There was actually a Chinese company that knocked it off and tried to make a paper version of Hearthstone. I don't know if you can find it, because I think they got caught really quickly by Blizzard. I never actually looked on eBay to see if any of it made it to like the US for purchase, and I don't really fuck with like Alibaba and stuff, so I don't know. But you could go try to track that down, see if there's any in the wild. But I would guess the amount of randomness that they built into that game that really only works because it's an online game would be very, very unsatisfying to play with in paper. All right, we get a big attack here. We get a big honking attack here. To make a token, to flip our Legion's Landing. They just don't even block. We get to play a Thorn Lieutenant. Next turn we get to play our land and pump our Resplendent Angel. Yeah, so yeah, Zulabal is saying that one of the big differences in Hearthstone Magic is that you can mess with your opponent on their turn. And that's always, yeah, that is something that I think was a design choice they made since they decided that there was going to be an online-only game. And in order to make the interface and the gameplay back and forth very quick and snappy, they decided that there would be no instants and stuff like that. All right, so our opponent harshed us a little bit by playing a Conclave. This is kind of a free attack because we can pump this to 6. So if they block with a Pride Mate, that's actually pretty good for us. And I'll happily just jam 6 mana into this to pump it. Take the Pride Mate off the board. No, they don't. All right. Looks like we're going to get into a little bit of a protracted game with them again. And game 1, we ended up winning and in one of these. And yeah, our deck for sure, game 1 was best set up for a longer game. Game 2, with them having Frenzy, Experimental Frenzy in their deck, I think the advantage is still us, but it's not such a slam dunk. And luckily, they're stuck on land. They don't have a red source, so even if they do have like Frenzies in hand, they're not casting. And they're kind of in a position where they can't attack with their Pride Mate because we can chump block very cheaply, and then we get a very nice swing back because these Leonins are only 1/1s. Adanto Vanguard is really bad at blocking. So this Pride Mate's more or less forced to play defense. We're just going to play the land, pass. If we draw another Conclave Tribunal, we'll be in a really nice spot. We're just going to keep making Adanto tokens and see who draws out of it first. Second Primate is scary. So they have another big beast that we're going to have to worry about. These triggers are annoying. Again, these triggers like this and all this clicking is one of the reasons that Hearthstone wasn't designed with that type of rule set, the same type of rule set that Magic has. Because it really does slow the game down. And a game like this being played in paper, you don't have that problem because you just resolve all these triggers like verbally using shortcuts. Shalai is a very good top deck here. This lets us start growing our army vertically, not just horizontally. It also keeps them from just pinging away with Healer's Hawk. Fortunately, we're not attacking. Oh, luckily, since the Adanto is not I don't have the mana for it. It's letting us pass through these triggers without clicking now, which is nice. All right, so they decided that they're like a little bit tired of not attacking, and I totally get it. Yeah, I don't think they want to attack with the Healer's Hawk. So if we just block like this, we'll gain 1, 19, lose 15. So I think we want to block more than this. I almost wonder if we want to like gang block this Pride Mate. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And take the 8. Let's try those. Well, so Zulabal asks, Ajani seems weird. Only the -2 ability has really good synergy. Since this is a more mid-rangey deck, wouldn't it be better to main deck the Karn? So I don't have a... Since I'm not the deck designer, I don't have a really good answer as to why. I'm just thinking here for a second about whether or not I want to attack with Emmara. My guess is that all the 2-drops in this deck are pretty good, and situationally, they just like wreck people, more or less. Alright, so this block is awesome for us. We play Lyra. We play Emmara. Now if they draw a Conclave Tribunal, they have to take out the Shalai, since everything else is hexproof. Also, the +1 is pretty good in this deck. If you play Adanto into a 2-drop, or a 2-drop into a 3-drop, it's actually pretty nice. Alright, so now we are just in chump block mode. This doesn't have trample, thankfully. Yeah, the snowballing potential of the +1/+1 is very good. We're in our damage step again. Alright. So now we're going to play our other Thorn Lieutenant. And we're going to make an Adanto token to block their Pride Mate. So we're just fogging the Pride Mate every turn with a token, gaining a life, and we're just going to chip away in the air. And I think this is how we win this game. From here. I'm not sure what they can do to get out of it. Other than drawing like runner Conclave Tribunals. Amazingly, they have not drawn any more land in 15 cards. Super annoying that they're gaining this life every turn. And we're kind of like locked down, forced to use the Adanto. Assuming this is going to go on the Pride Mate. If we ever draw another Conclave Tribunal, then we're just going to smash them. This is the only thing that we're scared of. So here's Ajani. A little awkward that we don't even really want to play the Ajani right now. I think we'd rather... I mean, we can play the Ajani and chump block away one of the Thorn Lieutenants. It's kind of fine. And then go back to making Adanto tokens next turn. I guess the thing we're worried about is... I think this is okay. I don't think we're actually really worried about that much here. I guess we'll pump the Emmara so it becomes a more respectable blocker. At some point, they're going to start chump blocking away with their Healer's Hawks. Okay, it looks like they're doing it now. Oh wow. Wait, they put it on Healer's Hawk? Interesting. Kind of a weird choice, I would say. Ooh, so we might see them attack here just to flip this. But it's not even really that good. Like, I suspect what they're missing is red. That they might be holding on to a frenzy experiment. Or experimental frenzy here. The Healer's Hawks coming at Ajani. Pride Mate coming at us. It's almost tempting just to take the 20. Except for the fact that I think we have to worry about some kind of like pump spell. Where if we go to too low of a life total, we're going to be in trouble. Just keep increasing our clock in the air. We would love to get to a point where we can play Shalai, ability, and Adanto, so I am going to play the land. Yeah, Pride of Conquerors is what I'm a little worried about. That's why I'm being careful to block the Pride Mate every turn and not go too low. Though with this list, with the Pride Mate list, I don't know that they play Pride of the Conquerors in this list. I'm not really familiar, since I just pretty much never play this style of deck. But yeah, Pride is definitely something that they could be drawing to and would be scary here. Let's see if they make this exact same attack. Send 2 to Ajani, send 24 at us. Right. 2 more lands and we can use the Shalai ability too. So lands are not even dead draws for us right now. Obviously at any point if we draw like a March of the Multitudes, we're going to be in business. Second Shalai. Not as good as the first, I would say. It's going to take 8. All right, so now that they've taken 8, well, I guess they are gaining like 1, 2, 3, 4. But they are getting kind of close to potentially losing in the air if they attack poorly. Because on our turn, we can always opt to activate Shalai for 1-1, and Ajani can go 1-1. So we could be attacking for 16 in the air here. So they are at that point now where they have to be very conservative, I think. They can't just attack with these Healer's Hawks, at least for a couple turns until they heal back up from Leonin Vanguard. Yeah. Happy to oblige. We go to 44. History. Unfurl the Scroll of Destiny. And let's just spread these around more. Oh my god. Interestingly, if we attack with both, they're kind of forced to chump block away at least one Healer's Hawk here. Is it too frisky to attack with both? I think I'll just attack with one. They're going down to 4. Interesting. Not blocking there feels a little defeatist. They can potentially do a big heal on themselves with Pride of Conquerors here. Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4 lifelinkers. But they're going to lose some creatures in the process. Looks like that's not what they're on, though. They're just on sheepishly attacking for 28 and getting blocked. Nice pile of stats here. They got a history of their own. This battle is being fought in the air. Maybe now it's time to put one on Shalai. I think we're still holding her back here. No, we're just setting it up to win next turn here. So they don't even get to gain life because of the first strike. Ajani gets the ultimate next turn. Which is kind of nice. Attacking with Shalai and replaying it as a way to untap it was certainly a line that we could have taken there, but I'd rather hold this because who knows, like, if they sided in something like Cleansing Nova, I think you just want to hold in anticipation of what your opponent might have. But there we go, we complete the 5-0 run with green-white. Stacks on stacks, let's claim those prizes. Didn't drop around. Oath of Teferi. Angrath, hey, that's a marginally playable card that we almost lost to. Dead Man's Chest. That's got too much text on it. So we have plus 1100 there, getting close to 80k. That's it for green-white. So I think what I'm going to do now is switch to a green-black deck, because I'm kind of feeling playing these mid-rangey decks today. That's it for this video. I hope everyone watching on YouTube enjoyed. I hope everyone who's hanging out with us during the stream enjoyed as well. Check the details below to figure out when I'm streaming. It's not going to be often, but maybe I'll do another day next week. And hope you all enjoyed this series. Easy 5-0. Thanks to Nick Prince again for the list and the sideboarding. And we'll be back again soon with the green-black deck. And if you're here in Twitch, keep hanging out, and we're going to go build that deck and then start something new. Thanks, everyone.